Now tune in to the motherfucking greatest.
Boom, picka boom, picka boom, picka boom, picka boom, bow, 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 picka, picka, bam, boom.
Get that dirt off your shoulders, you gotta get that dirt off your shoulders, you gotta get that dirt off your shoulders.
So the beatboxing skills came out in full effect, boy.
That was pretty good, bro. I'm impressed. I'm impressed by your performance, bro.
That came out of nowhere, man.
I gotta hit you with the GSP early.
I got possessed by the soul of Jay-Z, I think. There, I don't know what happened there.
Well, I can't hit you with the GSP because GSP is not impressed by your performance.
No, he's not impressed with my performance.
I am most certainly impressed by your performance. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 26 of the Actors to Combat podcast. I am one half of your host, Hugo the Boss. Hugo got next. Hugo looking like Hove today, joined by my co-host.
It's your boy, Ray Boogie Kahuna. You already know.
And before we get into any of that hoopla and any of the fights this weekend, you guys already know the routine. Follow, like, subscribe, comment, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.
Everybody watching on YouTube right now, hit that like button, hit that notification bell to stay up to date, subscribe, drop a comment, all that stuff. And for all of the audio listeners, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcast. Before we get into this card this weekend, big UFC card, UFC 292, right? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
In Boston, by the way, so it's right up our alleyway. We're going to recap some of our bets from last week. God, shouldn't say God on the podcast, but we had good reads. We had good picks. Judges did not help us. And yeah, let's just leave it at that. And then Martin Budai, of course, blowing up the parlay, but
he did what he did. He did what he needed to do. He just did it way too early than we needed him to do it.
Absolutely. But to kick it off, let's start with what we got wrong. So me and my brother had Juliana Miller by sub. Killer Miller, no more killer. She's terrible.
Nah, she's the killer of all bets.
She's from that movie We Are the Millers. You know what I'm saying? So
what?
My brother had Miller money line. I had Ruiz money line. So did you actually? You had Ruiz inside the distance. You had Viana money line. Viana sub. I had Lucindo by decision. We both got a cheek clap on that fight because
we went head to head there, and
we both.
Fantasy gods ain't like that one.
Yeah, have you guys ever seen Jay and Silent Bob? Like that, we spanked the monkey. No, the monkey shall spank us.
The monkey definitely spanked us there.
Yeah, the fight did not end how we wanted it to end. So it is what it is. But on the good side, we had Luque money line. So we'll take that, and then the parlays just get decimated here.
Both of us didn't have our parlays, right?
No,
we got cooked.
So we had Parisian Budai over 2.5, McKinney Breeden under 2.5, McGee and Buys under 2.5. I had a separate parlay, half a unit on Parisian Budai over 2.5. McKinney Breeden and Buys McGee not to go the distance. Then, of course, the parlay buster, the one that made or break our night for MMA, which is...
This parlay I thought was a lock.
Oh, my goodness. And it was a lock because our guy won. We had Blackshear, McGee, and Dawoodu. And Sal D'Amato and, Ron McCarthy. And
I don't know who the judges were.
It was John McCarthy's son was one of them. And, man... I don't want to say blatant robbery, but Lord, it was pretty bad. It was pretty decisive and clear who won the fight. And our guy was on the losing end of that. And sorry to the bettors because that would have put us up pretty much a whole unit and a half.
Yeah, I would have been close to 2 units myself.
And then I had some action on boxing of Oscar Valdez money line. He lost the fight, unfortunately. Great fight, very close fight. I thought Navarrete edged him as well, but I'm never mad at Oscar Valdez because that man fights for my money. So love him. Can't wait to bet on him again and to fade Navarrete against the next big guy in his weight class. So All good, all love. On to the next one, ladies and gentlemen. You know, we wipe those off and we move on, and that's what we do here, you know. We own our losses, and we want you to judge us by our losses because we have so few.
Yeah, you know, it's called accountability at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. We don't
win or lose, we don't run.
We don't run away from it.
We don't hide.
So
we show it all.
A little bit of a rough night, but if we hit that parlay, we're up. We have a winning night.
Yeah.
So, you had a winning night.
I mean, barely, but you know.
I would have broke even.
Vicente dug me out a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, Vicente's a lord. Yeah.
Excellent fight, by the way.
And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, that wasn't one of our initial bets. If you had tuned into the podcast, though, you knew he was our lean.
Yeah.
So, you know, there was no, we were having a little bit of a losing night. He was a little bit of a break the glass, which I'm not mad at. I told my brother, I was like, he's a safe break the glass. But didn't want to bet that fight, but winded up doing so. Definitely did not regret it because we won. And the way we read it was exactly how it went. So, love you, Luque. No more brain hemorrhages. Love the way you're fighting now. It's smart. I can see you getting into the top 5. No doubt. But, time to get into it. Let's get into this card, my brother.
UFC 292. Taking place in Boston, the TD Garden. Headlined by Aljamain. Going one-on-one with Sean O'Malley. Banger. Then we got a co-main. Zhang Weili, Amanda Lemos.
Great fight.
Banger. I mean, this whole card, top to bottom.
It's pretty good.
Pretty solid.
Pretty good.
And it's also serving as the Ultimate Fighter finale card.
Yep.
Which they really don't usually do that on pay-per-views, but
they do it, they do it on a fight night.
Yeah. And it's not going to be in the early prelims. It's going to be on the main prelims. Both fights.
That's impressive. Well, it is high level. They're all veterans.
Yeah, and I mean, it makes sense, right? You don't want to you don't want to paywall that because it's, they're trying to promote the,
Tough.
Yeah, tough. So it makes sense.
Yep.
But anyway, on to the first fight. First fight we got here in the flyweight division. Early prelims. How do you say your name?
Maryna.
Maryna Moroz going one-on-one with Karine Silva. I nailed that, right?
Yep.
Maryna Moroz, 11-4, fighting out of the Ukraine, hailing from the Ukraine, 31 years old, going one-on-one with the killer, Karine Silva, 16-4, hailing from Brazil, fighting out of Brazil, 29 years old. This match is a run back from 2014.
8 years ago.
Is it 8 years?
Close.
I can't do the math, so I'm trusting you.
Actually, more. It's 8.5, I think so.
2014, they fought against each other. Maria ended up winning by armbar.
9, actually.
Man, I trusted you. I can't trust you no more, man.
It's 9. I just thought about it. I was like...
Well, anyway, 9 years ago, it was an ugly fight. They were both very young in their careers. That they were like 23 and 24. Maria ended up getting her in an armbar early. She ended up pulling guard. Karina, did her thing until she got caught. I think they're both way different fighters now. I don't know who I like here. Moroz, she's tough. Hard to take out. She don't really get finished. She's got solid striking. Good pressure. She got a chin. I mean, her nickname's the Iron Lady. But Karine can pop. She's got power. Striking probably not as clean. Decent ground game. I mean, no. Excellent ground game. Excellent submissions. I don't blame people who are on the Moroz side. I'm kind of back and forth on this. My pick for the fight is going to be Karine. I don't know how I'm going to bet this fight. I'm going to say it goes the distance, but I don't know. How do you feel about this fight?
I think this fight has... The unders are very live here, in my opinion. And it's because Karine Silva, I think, has only seen the third round twice in her whole career. And she's fighting a girl that's beaten her. So she's either going to kill her or she's going to get tired and then she's going to get killed. That's how I see this fight going. But my lean's definitely going to be Karine for everything that you just mentioned. I also question Moroz's motivation for this fight because she hasn't fought in a while. And I know she just recently got that Playboy deal. So she's already got ventures outside the UFC. And usually for fighters, that's not a great sign because they're not completely locked into the game. I tell you what, I think Maryna is a good live bet spot. And the reason being is because if Karine blows her load in the first round, Moroz will get her late when she gasses. But I like Karine. I think she's the goods. I think she's the real deal. I like Karine. Probably Karine by submission, too.
Yeah, I could see that. I don't know. Moroz is pretty wicked, man.
On the floor, too.
She is. And she's got, like, you know, she was more than willing to play in Bueno Silva's guard when they fought, like, a couple years ago.
Yeah, you know, I retract.
No,
I retract. Now that you mentioned that. So
no, I don't think it's like out the realm of possibility because Karine has gotten way better and she's a very hammer. Yeah.
Karine early, Maryna late, 100%. I can see Maryna stopping her late.
I'm not too sure how I want to bet this fight.
Yeah,
because dog
or pass maybe.
I was thinking over. What you're saying about the under kind of makes sense. Like I said, I do think Karine is the rightful favorite here, but I don't know. I mean, I don't blame the dog shot on Moroz. I think Moroz wins. It's probably a decision. But I think Karine's the side here. I don't know how I'm gonna bet it personally.
I agree.
Next fight we have here in the flyweight division. Andrea Lee going 1-on-1 with Natália Silva. KGB 13-7. Fighting out of Louisiana, 34 years old, going against Natália Silva, 15-5-1. Fighting out of Brazil, hailing from Brazil, 26 years old. Silva's been, I don't want to say shockingly good, but she came out swinging, you know? Her debut fight was against Jasmine Jasdavicius. Excellent fight. Surprised everybody. She came in as a dog. I think her next fight was against Blaza, right? And then her last fight was against Leonardo. Whooped all of them. Andrea Lee, I think, is being a little disrespected here. I know she's a little bit on the older side. She's
a plus 280, man.
She's 34. I don't think she's old, but like she's got some wear and tear on her. She's been in the game for a bit. This is, I think, by far the best striker Silva's fought. The best grappler Silva's fought. I still think Silva's got the edge striking because she's slick. I don't know if she's got the power. She's a little undersized. KGB is going to be bigger. I think this line should be a little closer. I do think Silva should win because of her footwork, her sleekness, her 1-2s they come quick, they hit hard.
Hey yo.
Andrea Lee, good offensive grappler, bad defensive grappler. I think Silva could take her down, but I think Andrea Lee could take Silva down.
No question.
And Silva, she's hard to take down, but once she's down, you could kind of hold her down. So I think this fight is going to be way closer than the line indicates. I don't know if she finishes Andrea because Andrea's only been submitted once in the UFC.
Never been knocked out.
She's been, I don't even think she's even been dropped. She might have been rocked 1 or 2 times.
Never been dropped.
But never been dropped, right? I think
there's a live bet spot here, man. I mean, a live dog is hell.
I think she's live. I think she's a live dog.
At plus 280, dude, that is disrespect. And by the way, we're talking about a girl who I think she beat Macy Barber her last fight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Like it's close. I think this fight is close. I don't know if Natália finishes her. I think this fight probably does go to decision. I think, like I said, Silva is the rightful favorite. She probably does win this fight more often than not. But
plus 280.
The line should be closer. I don't know if I want to take a shot on Andrea Lee because I don't know how confident I am that she pulls through, but she can pull through. So in my opinion, I guess she's a semi-live dog. I'm gonna pick Natália here for the win. Don't know how I'm gonna bet this one. This one makes me sweat a little more, actually, than the last fight with Karine and Maria. So, I don't know. That's the way I feel. I think these are, I mean, like I said, these fights from top to bottom on this card, really good. So, Silva's the side. Don't know how I'm going to bet it. The line should be closer.
Yeah, I think Silva's definitely the side, but like I think Andrea Lee is a live dog. I really do.
I mean, she's got the size.
She's got the size,
the length, and the reach, and the height,
and the experience, and the better brand of competition that she's fought. Plus, just like Maryna Moroz, and here's the one thing I forgot to drop in for you guys: they're good minute winners, man.
Yeah,
they know how to win minutes. So I think both of these girls are live as hell, man, in these fights. And by the way, they're starting off the card. These are not high, these are not low level women's fights. These are high level fighters getting in the octagon, man. And I think Andrea Lee she's been on the wrong side of some bad decisions, man. If I'm being honest, throughout her career,
yeah,
because there's a lot of fights that I thought she won, and judges took it away from her. So I think Andrea's live as hell here, man. I mean, if there's like a split decision prop, I'm playing the shit out of that.
Yeah. I don't even blame people playing Andrea straight because I mean, how much?
280.
That's crazy, man.
I think that's a disrespectful line. This should be this line, guys. Just as a heads up, it's plus 280, and Natália is minus 355. I think it should be like minus 190, not even 190, maybe minus 170, plus 135.
I mean,
140.
Like, I think there's a chance she can get dog walked in this fight. I just don't.
I wouldn't bet on it.
I personally don't see it. I think the fight's gonna be closer.
I think it's gonna be close as hell. At plus 280, you want to be on the plus money side.
I think Silva,
especially if it's gonna be close.
I think Silva, like I said, standing, she's sleek, man.
I agree.
The footwork, she's gonna be very evasive. She throws out that 1-2. She could piece Lee up. But Lee, I mean, again, the best striker she's fought because, you know, her other 3 fights, I mean, Jazz Davicius, mid. Blazer probably a little better, but not really that much. And, you know, Leonardo, mid.
Yeah.
But, you know what I'm saying?
No question. Best fighter she's fought, too. A lot of value in Andrea Lee. That's all I'm going to tell you. Very technical, too. Very good on the floor. A lot of things. But yeah, we're done beating this fight up. We can move on to the next one, my brother.
All right, next fight we have in the card here to kick off, well, actually to end the early prelims, we have Gerald Meerschaert, GM3, going one-on-one with Andrea Petroski.
The fact that this is an early prelim fight is crazy.
I'm telling you, bro. This
is a great fight, too, man.
Yeah.
This card's stacked. Lord.
I think this fight, again, if they weren't having the tough stuff, this would have been a little higher. But they want to showcase the tough fights, so I get it.
Yep.
This is an unfortunate victim of the tough fights being on the card.
Yep.
But we got GM3 here, 35-16, fighting out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 35 years old, going against Andrea Petroski, 9-1, fighting out of Springfield, Pennsylvania, 32 years old. I like this fight. Grappler versus grappler. I'm leaning Petroski here. Not with the most confidence, but I think Petroski hits hard. Probably hits harder than GM3. I don't know if he's going to be able to keep GM3 off of him. I mean, and I don't know if I trust Petroski. See, now I'm thinking about it. I don't know if I trust Petroski to not wrestle him and kind of just like.
I feel like he's crazy enough to play in his guard.
Yeah,
I really do, because he's been on a roll lately. That's why he fought like Nick Maximoff and those other guys that are all grapplers, because he wants to prove in some weird sense in his mind that he's the best grappler in the division.
Yep.
So I feel like GM3 at plus 195, especially for like a second or third round sub, which he is notorious for, is live as hell. And Petroski, sorry to jump in, by the way.
No.
But he fights a lot like Yoel Romero, and that was a good analysis on your part. He kind of knows when to take his breaks, The thing is, though, he's sloppier than Yoel, and he has a neck unlike Yoel. So my thing is, if he takes like a sloppy shot and just goes into Gerald wrap up his neck with a guillotine, and he's one of the best in the business at closing it with, like, you know, in the second and third round when the bodies are sweating and, you know, there's less friction. So, you know,
the only caveat I would like to put in there, though, is that Petroski does train with these Philly guys.
He does.
So the chances of him kind of like just randomly getting caught in a submission, I think, are very low. But if he's going to get caught by anybody, it's GM3, because GM3 is not really a guy who kind of like fishes for submissions. He's more of an opportunistic kind of finisher.
Correct.
So if you're going to give him that neck, he'll just go and grab it.
Yep.
You know, and yeah, I can see a scenario where, I mean, Petroski comes out hot like he always does. He starts to tire out towards the end of the round. And then in that time frame, right before the second round, or right at the end of the first, or right at the end of the second, or even right at the end of the third, that's the time where GM3 can thrive, especially if they're grappling or clinching and Petroski gets a little sloppy. I think more often than not, though, I think Petroski wins this fight. I think I do trust his wrestling and, you know, the fact that he trains with these guys in Philly. He's smart enough to really not get caught in that kind of stuff. I'm going to lean Petroski here. GM3, again, another live-ish dog. If you're going to bet GM3, I think you bet him, like you said, round 2, round 3 sub, around there. Petroski, he could finish him. I don't know if he's got I know he's got power, but
does he have that hitter like Joe Pyfer?
Yeah, I don't know if he's got the one hitter.
Like body bags.
He could have it.
The thing is, this is also a guy who fought at welterweight at one point. So GM3 is going to be the naturally bigger guy, even though Petroski's he's built like his name sounds. He's built like a shithouse.
Yeah, dude is
he's jacked.
Muscled up, boy.
He's bodied up, bro. But like, my thing is, it's I have seen him get sloppy, and even against Nick Maximoff, he got sloppy in certain spots. And you can't do that shit with GM3. I think GM3 won't look like GSP in second or third round and wrap up the neck.
I mean, who knows? Maybe Petroski gets him in the sub, because even when he fought Nick Maximoff, I mean, nobody thought that he was gonna not only beat Nick Maximoff, right?
No.
I mean, I guess people thought he was gonna.
No. That's cap, because that's cap. You know why that's cap?
How's that cap?
Because me and you both said, maybe me and you were the only ones who were on it. But I told you when that fight got announced, Petroski's gonna beat the fuck out of him.
Well, I mean, okay, I knew he was gonna beat him, but the way he beat him.
Oh no, I was not surprised. Nick Maximoff overrated, bro.
I mean, but like first round, and then what was an anaconda?
Yeah.
Like that was
put him to sleep.
Crazy.
Yeah.
You know
I mean, dude, he can grapple. He is built like a shithouse, man.
And GM3 has been subbed.
Yeah.
Several times.
That's true.
So it's like, would I be surprised? I mean, inside the distance for Petroski, maybe. Or, I mean, I could also see Petroski just grinding him out for 3 rounds as well. Because again, GM3's third, if you don't get that one hitter, he's durable.
Correct.
You know, so I don't know how I'm gonna bet this one. I do like Petroski to win. If you're on the Meerschaert side, I don't blame you. I personally would play him 2 and 3. Don't know how I'm gonna bet this personally. I mean, you know, Friday comes around and you know you'll see the picks.
Yeah.
But I don't know how you feel, but I
like Petroski, but Gerald Meerschaert's definitely a live dog in this spot. And by the way, now that we brought up that Nick Maximoff fight with Petroski, thank you very much, that fight, because that was one of the fights that inspired us to do this podcast. At least it inspired me, because I think Petroski was a dog walking into that fight, which is, I told you, I was like, yo, Ray, this line is crazy. He's going to fuck him up.
I mean, I knew he was gonna win. I didn't think he was gonna
I called it.
Out, like,
I
in the
called
first
it.
round. That was sick.
Yeah, I called it. Yeah. I said I didn't think he was gonna choke him. I think he was probably gonna knock him out.
That's what I thought.
But you know, the thing is, the fact that he choked him, was I surprised? Not really. You know, so thank you, fight. Thank you, that fight. You know, here we are.
All right, next fight we have to kick off the prelims. We have the first of 2 tough fight finales. We got Cody Gibson going one-on-one with Brad Katona. And this is in the, what's this, bantamweight, right? Bantamweight division. Cody Gibson, the Renegade, 19-8, fighting out of SOL County, California. I don't know what the hell that is. 35 years old.
LOL, California.
LOL, California. Going against Brad Superman Katona. 12-2. Fighting out of Dublin, Ireland. But he's hailing from Canada. 31 years old. Listen. I don't know why Katona got cut in the first place.
He's a good fighter, man.
I think I think it's a combination of both. I think he was injured, and his fight style is not the most.
It's not sexy.
Yes, but I think he's the side, in my opinion. Here, I think Cody could be live-ish, but Cody would have to make this a very sloppy dog fight. If he tries to fight calculated, I think, against Katona here, I think Katona is very cerebral. I think Katona kind of picks him apart here. You know, takes him down, beats him up, handles him striking-wise. I mean, listen, Gibson, he's got all the physical advantages. He's taller, he's longer, he's bigger. He's a very big bantamweight. But Katona's only lost to two guys. Katona's lost to Moroz, and I think Hunter is
Azor, who was on the show.
Yeah.
And by the way, this guy has fought Kyler Phillips and won, and he's fought Bryce Mitchell and won. This guy is Katona's. He's a problem. He's just undersized, low key.
I think Katona's legit. Yeah, he's just small. And then, I mean, again, he's fighting a guy who's very big for this division. Like I said, Gibson, if he makes this messy, I think there's a chance for him to win here. I'm not saying Katona's like a lock or anything. I just don't like Gibson's style personally. I like to bet on the smarter fighters here. You know, Katona's very smart. He's very calculated. He knows what to do in there. I'm going to lean Katona here. I don't know how I'm going to bet this fight.
His line is minus 175. That's actually not terrible.
That's not bad. I wish it was a little smaller, because I do think Gibson can't, like, again, Gibson is a scary opponent. I don't think he's like, he's not a world beater or anything, but like, again, he's got the physical attributes, and if he does make this sloppy, it'll be pretty interesting to see how Katona reacts. But I do think Katona's the side. Don't know how I'm gonna bet it though. I think this goes over, actually, if I had to bet, because Katona's not a finisher.
No,
Katona likes to take his time. And Gibson,
durable. Somewhat durable.
Gibson's all right. So maybe the bets for this fight, overs, goes the distance. I'm leaning Katona here, but don't know how I'm going to bet it at the moment.
I tell you what, the fact that he lost to, Gibson has lost to both Aljamain Sterling, who is the current champ and the headline of this card, and he's lost to Ray Borg. I mean, there's just too much versatility in his wins and losses, in my opinion, in terms of the skill level. He should be smashing Ray Borg and losing to Aljo is the point. Or just losing, you're just losing to bums and you're losing to like world beaters. You're a scary guy to bet on. If you're smashing the guys you're supposed to smash, it's an easier side for us to pick. I like Katona a lot, man. I think Katona is a beast, man. I think he is the goods, and I think he's going to be the first guy ever to win the Ultimate Fighter twice. He's really good. I mean, dude, even when he fought that was the fight that kind of put me over, when he fought the Russian dude, the Dagestani in the house. What's his name?
Tamir.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Yeah.
Is it? I can't remember his name.
Yeah, but he's that dude. I thought that dude was going to win the whole show, and Brad said, "Nip. I'll take that shit right now." Yeah, he's a problem, and I think he's gonna win this fight. So, Brad Katona is probably gonna get a bet from me too. I trust his mind. I trust him to make the right decision. I trust him to know how to win.
All right, next fight out here we got in the prelims is the second of two tough finales, and we have Kurt Holobaugh going one-on-one with Austin Hubbard. Holobaugh 19-7. Fighting out of Franklinton, Louisiana, 36 years old, going against Thud, Austin Hubbard, 15-6, fighting out of Denver, Colorado, 31 years old. This is going to be another close fight. This is another fight that I think goes the distance, and the overs hit. I think Hubbard's probably the rightful favorite. He's going to put the volume out there. He's not going to finish Holobaugh here. He doesn't really finish anybody in his career. I think the finishing upside is on the Holobaugh side. Holobaugh is tough. I don't want to. I'm leaning live dog here as well. I do like Holobaugh. Don't know if I like him enough to bet him. I think Hubbard wins this fight. Not with the most confidence. If I'm gonna bet this fight, I do bet the overs. I do bet that this goes to decision. I think for both guys, you probably bet goes to decision, because Hubbard's a durable guy too, tough to get out. You want to get a little risky, frisky. Holobaugh is the guy with the finishing upside. But I think you bet both these guys by decision, you get a better line. Hubbard's the side for me, pick-wise. Holobaugh might be the more interesting dog to bet on here, but I don't know as of right now. That's just gut feeling. That's how I feel.
Well, you know what's crazy, right? This fight, under a lot of circumstances, I would say it's a big fucking stay away. And here's why. Kurt Holobaugh is 0-3 in the UFC.
Yeah.
Austin Hubbard is 3-4 in the UFC.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is I think Holobaugh has fought the better guys. Thiago Moises, Shane Burgos, and Ronnie Barcelos. Those are the guys he lost to.
Those are good guys.
Those are decent guys.
Who's the last guy you named? You said it was
Ronnie Barcelo.
Barcelos. Okay.
Who's a hammer.
Yeah.
Especially at that time.
That's a tough 3 fight.
Yeah. Back to back.
Yeah.
And he got finished in 2 of them.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at Austin Hubbard, Vince Pichel, Vince Remhel Pichel, Joe Selecki, Mark Madsen, Dobby Ramos.
This is all who he lost to? Or
who he lost to.
Okay.
Who he won, Dakota Bush, Mac Roxmorf.
Who?
And Kyle exactly.
Wait, who was that?
Who?
Yeah.
Who?
It's kind of crazy, man. And at this level, I mean, especially what he did to Jason Knight, I don't know if Austin Hubbard would do that to Jason Knight.
I mean, you can make the argument that Jason Knight is
a little overrated,
past his prime, a little washed at the moment, but I mean, it was very impressive. He ran through him on the Ultimate on the Ultimate Fighter.
And Jason Knight usually takes a piece of you home.
Yeah,
he does.
Yeah,
and he dismantled him.
And Hubbard looks like he's still got a chin. He took some solid shots from him.
Yep, and the way he pressured him and made him make mistakes and used his counterboxing, that was the best Holobaugh's looked. If he fights like that in this fight, he's gonna win this fight.
I mean, you just naming the people that he lost to compared to, like, when we're comparing resumes here, it makes me feel a little better about maybe taking a dog shot on Holobaugh
at the UFC level, right? You know, so this is what I'm saying. Like, you know, Austin Hubbard beat Julian Lane, but Julian Lane was.
I mean, come on, man.
I mean, let's you know.
He beat the Lemmy Bang Bro guy.
Let's start with the cat. You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy has fought hammers.
Yeah.
You know, he's fought hammers. So, and by the way, too, to go back to the previous fight, the other thing I wanted to mention about Cody Gibson, he also coming in with a compromised leg.
Yeah, I wonder how healed that is or not healed.
He tore it, man. He got like a 3/4 tear on the MCL. Good luck getting that healed in 3 to 4 months.
I mean, who knows? Who knows? I mean, it probably is still a little compromised. No way. Like, it's not 100%, but
yeah.
I mean, it's probably, way better than it was on the show, but.
Yeah, another reason why I think Katona gets it done. But let's get back to this fight. Austin Hubbard should be the rightful favorite, but man, I want to hear how Kurt's talking this week. If he's talking good, I might take a little shot on him. And just because he's fought the way better guys. I don't know if I think Austin Hubbard is UFC caliber. I just don't know if he's a guy that's gonna take risks to solidify him being in the UFC, as you saw in his last 2 fights in the house. So I know Holobaugh's gonna fight for my money, and I loved his counterboxing, and he has good wrestling takedown defense too, underrated as hell.
Yeah, hard to take down.
Very hard to take down. Also thick for the division.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
Big guy.
Hits hard.
Yeah.
You know,
So-
it's the volume I'm worried about too. Because like I can see why Hubbard's, Hubbard knows what to do. He's very high volume.
Yeah.
So, I mean, who knows?
Who knows? Yep. This fight, I'll lean Hubbard. Don't know how I'm going to bet it.
All right, getting back into the, I guess, main chunk of this prelim of 292 here. We have Gregory RoboCop Rodrigues going one-on-one with Denis Tiuliulin. Tiuliulin. Rodrigues, RoboCop, 13-5, fighting out of Brazil. Actually, hailing from Brazil, fighting out of Florida. 31 years old, going against Denis Tiuliulin. I don't want to disrespect the guy's name. It's just fun to say. Hailing from Russia, fighting out of Russia, 35 years old. He is 7-5 overall. RoboCop, how big of a favorite is RoboCop right now? Because he is
minus 355.
Oof.
That is insane.
Hard to bet that straight.
Played a prop on him. His line is already open for it. Gregory Rodrigues by knockout is plus 110. Gregory Rodrigues by submission is plus 225. His his finish prop is going to be insane.
I think if
minus 225.
I think if Rodrigues gets this guy down to Tiuliulin, I think he's going to look like minus 1,000.
Oh, yeah. If he hits the floor.
And the reason I say that is because, and like everybody else has been saying, if you watch the fight that Tiuliulin had against the Iron Turtle, he put my man on his back. He had no idea what to do.
No. Even though I think Iron Turtle's underrated.
Iron Turtle's very good.
But Iron Turtle could not do that shit to Gregory Rodrigues. Gregory beat him like he owed him money.
Yeah, Rodrigues is, slick jiu-jitsu.
Slick.
Excellent grappler when he decides to grapple.
Loves to fight. Loves to get his nickname is RoboCop, bro.
Yeah.
Dead or alive, you're coming with me.
I mean, shit. Yeah.
Why don't we have this poster on the wall? we need a RoboCop poster.
We don't have a RoboCop. Right?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we need a RoboCop.
Oh my goodness. We just put him up there.
Yeah, we need it.
He looks like RoboCop.
Get him with the RoboCop outfit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my goodness.
That'd be sick.
Oh my goodness.
And have him say dead or alive, you're coming with me, but in Brazilian.
But this guy, yeah, Gregory comes to scrap. He comes to scrap, man. And I mean, I agree with my brother. If this fight hits the floor, under 2 minutes, he's done.
But if this fight stays on its feet, way more competitive. This is where Tiuliulin wants it.
Yeah.
Tiuliulin, I mean, you have to.
Yeah.
It's hard to trust RoboCop's chin here. I mean, he's been hit by some kid. Like, people want to say he's got a weak chin, but I mean, his last knockout loss was against who?
That kid. That
was
kid.
It Chidi?
No, it was he knocked him out.
Who knocked Chidi out?
He lost to Bruno Ferreira. That little truck.
Yeah, that guy's a
that dude can crack, boy.
So it's like, he doesn't have a chin, but he's also been hit by these guys who have like godlike power in their hands. Yeah. Tiuliulin, I don't know if he has the godlike power. He does have power though. The problem is like his best fight was like against Jamie Pickett.
Yeah.
It's I'm leaning RoboCop here. I think RoboCop does get the takedown eventually, because he does get a takedown at least one takedown in each of his fights, if I'm not mistaken. And if it gets to the ground here,
with 2.5 minutes left, he's gonna kill him.
Yes,
he's gonna literally kill him.
I mean, and I hope that like they're thinking like the game, like it's the tape on Tiuliulin's out there.
Take him out, take him down.
Just put him on the ground.
Yeah,
put him on the ground. Put him on his back.
I think it gets there because Tiuliulin, he gets hit a lot, man.
He does.
That's his only.
He's easy to get hit.
You can't get hit by RoboCop, man.
The problem is like RoboCop can get hit too. You know what I'm saying? He don't got the best striking defense. So maybe the way to bet this fight is if you're feeling frisky, maybe the unders. Fight doesn't go. If you want to play it safe, you don't want to pick a side. You can't. I think RoboCop is the side. His money line is a little wild to take
on a guy who's a little chinny.
And you can't really rely on him to consistently get takedowns. I do think he does get the takedown here. I do think he wins.
I think he probably drops him and takes his back, low key.
And if he takes him down, like you and me were talking off camera, yeah, he probably does get the sub.
Yeah.
So
his best shot on a takedown is the left hook. You know what I'm saying? He hits him once, he's gonna drop him. So, if he drops him, I think he gets on top of him, probably subs him. I like the sub money here. It's plus 225.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
I wonder what's the line in second, third round.
Who knows?
That's interesting.
That's something we probably have to look into a little later. I don't know if those lines are out right now.
They might be, but I will definitely.
But I like RoboCop here to win. Not with the most confidence. Like, you can't bet his money line. Maybe you want to stick him in a parlay, but I don't know if he's the most reliable parlay piece either, because if he does stay standing, Tiuliulin can crack him. But the side here for me, at least for a pick, Rodrigues. Don't know how I'm gonna bet this. Maybe the unders if the unders aren't too juiced.
Ladies and gentlemen, look at these lines. Plus 700 for Gregory Rodrigues to win via knockout round 2. Plus 1,800 round 3. Plus 1,100 for a sub in round 2. And plus 2,800 for a sub in round 3.
You think it gets to round 3?
You want the real? I could see it happening because Tiuliulin does move his feet.
I guess we're not. I'm not trying to say that.
I think round 2 is live.
I'm gonna say
round 2.
There probably is a possibility it probably gets to round 3. We're not dealing with the highest IQ fighters here.
No.
Like, I don't think Rodrigues is like
Rodrigues doesn't cut off the octagon.
Yeah.
Right. He follows his opponents. But
I think
I think he finds him.
I would give him the IQ edge against Tiuliulin. Tiuliulin, like, his best fights is like when he's walking forward and just like banging.
Yeah, he's crazy.
He just swings.
He can't do this.
He wants to, and that's why I think Rodrigues is live for inside the distance at least, because he could club and sub him or just straight clean him out. But
Rodrigues sub round 1 is 300. That's not bad.
Nah. For round 1 sub, I think if it was like plus 500, it'd be a little better.
Yeah, but then you just play the sub straight.
Yeah,
it's plus 225.
Yeah, that's way safer.
Yeah,
it's not enough.
I just think I see that plus 11. Those juicy numbers. Just put a quarter unit on it. It's not gonna hurt you.
I don't know.
I'm gonna consider it.
I don't know, for a round 1 sub, round 1 prop like that is so specific. I think I want it a little more juicy.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I'm curious about something before we move on from this fight. But when he's getting finished, he gets finished usually in the first round, right? Yeah. When Rodrigues is getting finished, it's in the first round. But if you look at most of his wins, let's see at the UFC level, I'm curious. Dusko went to decision. Josh Frem knocked him out, but that was last minute. Montavo, round 2. Iron Turtle, round 2. Chidi, round 2. Julian Marquez, round 1. But Julian's a bum. Okay. All I'm saying is, round 2 is live here.
Yeah, round 2. Round two. I don't think that's a bad stab.
Yeah.
I don't like the round 1. Like,
no, just play. Yeah, just play the straight.
Yeah.
Just play the sub.
What's Rodrigues inside the distance?
It's like minus 225.
Okay.
Yeah, but his sub in round 1 is plus 225.
Nah.
I mean, no, I'm sorry, not his sub in round 1. His sub.
Yeah. Okay.
Gregory to sub is plus 225. That's okay.
That's okay.
That's okay. So, but yeah, we can move on from this fight.
All right, now to no, it's not to kick off the main card. This is the prelim headliner. We got a returning Chris Weidman going one-on-one with Brad Tavares. Ugh. The All-American Chris Weidman, 15-6. Fighting out of Baldwin, New York, 39 years old. Going against Brad Tavares, 19-8. Fighting out of Las Vegas, 35 years old. Tavares is Hawaiian, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I like Brad here. I don't know if you guys have paid attention to previous podcasts here, but I am not the biggest Chris Weidman fan.
Couldn't tell, bro.
I think he sucks. I think he's overrated.
The way you feel about him is the way I feel about Kamaru Usman.
I mean, maybe worse.
No question.
I mean, was there a time where Chris Weidman was like, you know, top of the world, where they were talking about him versus John Jones, super fight?
Fight for New York.
Fight for New York. Yeah, you know, okay. Sure. He's not, listen, I never liked this style. He's always a little boring to me. I get it. He's, you know, he's a good wrestler.
He's from Hofstra.
Yeah, you know, from Hofstra University. You know, he's from New York. I should be rooting for this dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I see New York dudes out here, I gotta represent, know what I'm saying? New York dudes, Hispanic dudes, particularly Puerto Rican dudes, I gotta root for them, know what I'm saying?
And let me tell you something about Puerto Rican dudes from New York.
But I don't know, man. I could never gel with Chris Weidman. I just don't like Weidman. I don't like his style. I don't like the way he fights. I don't like this dude. I think he's overrated. Also, you know, I mean, there's a lot of, listen, okay, I'm gonna get into some territory here. All right, I'm going on a little tangent. USADA came around like around 2014, you know. I'm gonna say, you know, a lot of fighters were, you know, probably on that, you know, secret juice, you know, that secret stuff that, you know, Michael Jordan had in Space Jam. All I'm saying is Chris Weidman may or may not have allegedly been one of those guys. I'm not gonna accuse him of anything because he's never popped. He's never tested positive. But, you know, he's one of those guys where, you know, once USADA came around, you can see the difference in physique, you know? You know, Nate Diaz probably wasn't lying when he was like, everybody on the juice. Know what I'm saying?
Nate Diaz, too.
Yeah.
Everybody on steroids.
Oh, everybody on the steroids. Allegedly. I'm not gonna tarnish his name that hard body. I'm just saying, like, you know, I think it was around after the Silva fight, around the Machado fight, right? That was still all pre-USADA. After that fight, I think his next fight was against Belfort. After that was Luke Rockhold. You can make the argument he wasn't the same after the Rockhold beating.
Yeah, that was a bad ass whooping.
You could also make the argument that, you know, that's around the same time USADA came around and started testing everybody. So, you know, there was a difference in physique. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm saying. Just look at pre-Machida. I think it was around Machida and post-Machida.
Yeah.
He didn't look like the same guy.
I mean, I said the same thing too about Jose Aldo when he fought Conor McGregor. When he came back after USADA, because he had like a year hiatus because he looked smoothed out, man. His body didn't look.
There was a lot of fighters like that,
dude.
Just to be, perfectly frank. Yeah.
Anderson Silva post USADA, not the same fighter.
Yeah,
like he broke his leg, which I understand, but he got knocked out by Weidman. He lost a couple of other questionable fights in between that. I mean, dude, like I agree with you. Yeah. I don't know if he's a product of USADA.
I'm not saying that.
Johnny Hendricks the same way too.
I'm just saying, just look at the physique, man. That's all I'm saying.
Johnny Hendricks is like that too.
Yeah, there's a lot of fighters.
Yeah. And I won't go there too. I think I don't want to make those accusations, but I really do think it is a very honest conversation.
You know, like I said, again, maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was a combination of that or Luke just beating the living crap out of him.
Yeah, that was a beating, man. That was bad. You know, that's hard to watch.
And he hasn't won. He hasn't been the same since. That's all I'm saying. It was around the same time.
Yeah.
I'm not, you know what? Maybe I'm ODing. Maybe I shouldn't be accusing. I'm not accusing anybody. I'm just throwing out stuff that I just, you know, I'm going back and watching tape and I just see things. That's all, you know.
Well, it's crazy.
It's just an observation. That's all I'm making.
It's also crazy because a lot of people say that Chris Weidman is the best training partner that they've ever had, right? Stipe Miocic has said it. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson has said it. And that gentleman we were listening to the other day said the same thing. That Chris Weidman's by far the best training partner he's ever had. And like he was also the best wrestler and jiu-jitsu practitioner that he's ever wrestled with and worked with. But let's cut all that other bullshit out. My man is coming back from an extremely bad leg break.
Yes.
Before that leg break, he was doing terrible. He was getting knocked out in all of his fights.
Yep.
People were saying the most impressive performance he had was against Kelvin Gastelum. Dude, he got dropped like 2 times in that fight before he took advantage of a guy and just weight bullied him. Let's just be real. Because Gastelum shouldn't be fighting at 185.
Yeah.
He's too small. And obviously people are going to argue because he had that war with Stylebender and this and that. Fight of the year, arguably the greatest fight in UFC history was between Kelvin Gastelum and Israel Adesanya. But look at the guys he's lost to, man. Look at all these knockout losses. Ever since Luke Rockhold, Yoel Romero, flying knee. Gegard Mousasi, knees. Kelvin Gastelum got dropped like 1 or 2 times in that fight, then triangle choked him in the 3rd round. Jacare knocked him out. Jacare Souza, bro. Are you kidding me? A jiu-jitsu guy knocked him out.
Yeah.
Dominic Reyes in a weight class he shouldn't have been fighting at. I guess he thought the weight cut was going to, help him if he wasn't depleting his body. Got clipped. Look at Dominic Reyes now, by the way.
Yeah.
Left hook, done.
Didn't age well.
Uriah Hall, who he broke his leg against.
Yeah.
And he just had a grappling match where he lost, and Brad Tavares is up. And I think, people think that he's getting done a favor by the UFC with Brad Tavares because he's not really a prolific finisher.
I mean, listen, they tried to find the softest matchup they could possibly find for him. And that being said, Tavares
is a bad matchup for him.
Not the easiest matchup for him
not at all.
And Tavares at least is active. And, I mean, not the most prolific finisher either.
But durable.
But very durable. Solid takedown defense. I mean, again, Weidman, to his credit, solid wrestler.
39 years old, broken leg.
39.
By the way, a leg that he was also having problems getting circulation back into at one point.
2-year layoff. I like Tavares here. Sorry for getting all long-winded and stuff. My brother's usually the one that likes to go on the rant.
Oh, no, I love it. Yeah, I like observing. I like to watch.
You like to, you're a looker, aren't you? But, all bias aside, I think Tavares is the side here.
He probably gets it. He probably finishes him.
I think he gets it done here. He probably finishes him. I'm not saying that with the most confidence. It's more about Weidman just hasn't been able to, take a punch lately. Well, I guess not lately because he hasn't fought in 2 years, but, a lot of his fights have been inside the distance. He's been getting knocked out left and right. Tavares got some pop. So I'm going to lean inside the distance maybe here for Tavares. I think Tavares is the side. He's the pick. Don't know how I'm going to bet this at the moment. But, yeah, that's the way I feel.
Yeah. Tavares by knockout or submission is plus 120. Tavares by decision is plus 180. Damn.
Yeah, weird. The bookies are all over that.
They're all over it. They know. They know what they're doing.
All right, now to kick off the main card, we have Mario Bautista, and he's fighting not Cody Garbrandt, but Damon Blackshear, the man who literally just fought less than a week ago. He's taking his fight on a week after, essentially. He's back-to-back fights in 2 weeks. He's on
that Robert Helenius shit. And by the way, fuck you, sports books for not letting us bet on that AJ knockout. Because that was an easy bet.
Side note.
That was an easy bet, and we couldn't bet that shit.
This is boxing, by the way, guys.
Yeah, some bullshit. But anyway.
We got Mario Bautista here taking on Damon Blackshear. Bautista, 12-2, fighting out of Glendale, Arizona, 30 years old, going to 1-on-1 with the monster, Damon Blackshear, 14-5-1, fighting out of Fayetteville, North Carolina, 29 years old, coming off a twister submission last week, beating Jose Johnson, easy money.
Did I not mention that did I mention Blackshear on our bets?
I don't recall.
Actually, that's cap because wasn't he the weekend before?
No, he was last week.
Wow.
He fought last week.
If I didn't mention it, guys, we did bet Blackshear, and you could check our Twitter for proof.
We bet him small, but in hindsight, we probably shouldn't.
We should have smashed him.
Yeah.
Because we called how that fight was going to go.
Yeah.
And, but anyway.
Yeah, I mean, Blackshear, we did pick Blackshear to win.
I picked him with the sub. I just didn't put enough on it. Well, we both did, actually.
I got goldfish memory, so I don't remember what I said on the podcast. I just remember
Yeah.
I definitely picked Blackshear to win that fight.
Absolutely.
And, you know, he's definitely a parlay piece.
Yeah.
Congratulations to anybody who had him in the lineup. You know, you're a winner. Unless you put Homeboy in there. The guy who just fought Swanson. That would do. Then you're real sick. But anyway, loser. I don't want to get back into that.
Yeah.
I think Mario Bautista is the side here. That being said, Bautista, the better striker. Not that Blackshear is, anything to sneeze at striking wise. Like, he's got solid striking, underrated striking. I don't think people talk about his striking enough. But I do think Mario Bautista is the better striker. I do think if it gets to the ground, a little more even, I think Bautista might be the better wrestler.
I think Blackshear's the better grappler.
Definitely the better grappler. If Blackshear's on his back, it's probably a little more difficult. If he's on top, hey, that's where things get a little scary for Bautista here. But I'm gonna lean Bautista here.
Blackshear's live.
Blackshear is I think he's a little live. I don't know how live he is. Because, again, Bautista was preparing for a striker.
Right.
Who could grapple in Cody. And I think he was going to obliterate that man.
Yeah.
You know, no love.
No love.
No love for no love. He was, Cody, no chin.
No chin.
But, Blackshear, and again, and if the rumors are true, this fight is taking place at 135. So he's got to make this weight cut again. Within 4 days. That's rough. That's rough.
He's a big guy.
And he's a big, Blackshear's not a small dude.
Yeah. I tell you what,
he might be the bigger guy. They got him listed here as an inch taller, and he's got 3 inches in reach on him.
He is the bigger guy. The line's appropriate. I think Bautista's at minus 218 right now. Blackshear's at plus 180. I think that's appropriate. And I think it's appropriate only because Blackshear didn't have a whole camp for him, even though he is in shape. But I do think the back-to-back weight cuts, like you said, is going to play a big factor in this fight.
This is going to be one of these fights where I kind of want to wait until weigh-ins just to see Blackshear, just to see his demeanor, if he's looking good, if he's looking healthy. He could be live. He could be.
Yeah.
But I think Bautista, I think he's a little too much for him in the striking department. I think he's the better wrestler, maybe not the better grappler. But I think Bautista should get this covered. I think a sneaky over is the way to go on this fight. Because I know Bautista is a finisher, but Blackshear is not.
He's underrated, bro.
He hasn't been finished in the UFC.
He's underrated.
And I think he's been subbed once, maybe.
Before the UFC.
And he has trouble against people who are grapplers, right? I think he's lost to like Sabatini and people of that ilk. He don't lose to like whack people.
No,
Blackshear is underrated.
This is a proven fight for Bautista, low key. This is the best fighter he's fought. The last guy he fought was Canetti.
100%.
Canetti sounds like something I throw on with my pizza, bro. Like, let's just keep it 100. Or it's on the side of my pizza with my soda and shit. You know what I'm saying? Not with that glizzy, because I ain't no glizzy gobbler out here. You feel me? I ain't about that life. I like hot dogs, man, but hey, you're like,
on, man.
Can't even say that.
Why are you doing that?
I can't even say that, but without, exterior forces looking at me some kind of way, but it's all good,
you're
though.
Making it wild hot right now, bro.
No, I'm not. Doesn't be nothing wrong with me eating a good old-fashioned American hot dog, but no.
You got to calm down.
I'm in New York.
You need to stop that.
And it's called a glizzy. If you eat glizzies, you a gobbler.
All right. Listen, I think for me personally, I think Bautista's the side. I think this is a close fight. I think this fight does go to decision. Don't know if Bautista finishes this guy, that's impressive.
Very.
But I'm gonna lean that he doesn't. Well, I'm gonna lean that he doesn't because if Blackshear looks very good in the weigh-ins, if he looks a little rough, I can see Bautista working the body and getting this guy out of here and giving him his first finish loss. But sneakily, if you don't want to pick a side here,
the overs.
I think the overs hit. And then I think like I said, I think the overs are sneaky. But I think for me, pure pick, Bautista. Don't know how I'm gonna bet it. That's what I got.
Agreed.
All right. Now, second fight on the main card. We got Marlon Chito Vera going one-on-one with the young Punisher. To change his name to the old Punisher. Pedro Munhoz. Cheeto, 22-8-1, fighting out of Ecuador, 30 years old. Pedro Munhoz, hailing from Brazil, 36 years old. This is like this fight is a little tough because I feel like these guys are like a literal mirror of each other.
Cheeto's a bigger mirror.
I mean,
the bigger dude.
Is he the bigger dude? 5'8" to 5'6". Yeah, 70 to 65. Yeah, he's the bigger dude. He's the younger dude.
100%.
It's just, and what are the odds on this? I know Cheeto is the favorite.
Cheeto's definitely a favorite.
How big of a favorite?
He is. Where are you?
If I had to guess, maybe like 170, 180?
Minus 198.
Oof, okay.
And Pedro Munhoz plus 164.
Man.
The over is minus 360.
I mean, these are two guys that...
This fight's for sure going the distance, if I'm correct.
It's probably going to go the distance. They're both good strikers. They're both durable. Both never been knocked down. Both never been knocked out. Cheeto, historically slower starter. Munhoz, maybe submission upside. Vera, maybe the knockout upside. This fight is tough. They both kind of do the same thing. They both fight the same way.
I will say this is the most stationary target that Cheeto's fought in a while.
True.
Pedro does move his feet, but you know what? Let me not shit on him like that. Pedro does move his feet a bit.
Yeah.
Because he did against our boy, who I'm never going to bet again. The guy he beat last time. What's his name? I got you right now. But regardless, he moves his feet. So, Gutierrez. Fuck Gutierrez.
Yeah, he burnt us.
He burnt us bad.
Trying to fade this old man Pedro. He said, "Damn you, never fade me, boy."
But what I will say is that this is definitely going to be probably the most stationary target Vera's fought in a while. And I could see Vera clipping him. Because think about Vera's last couple of fights. Sanhagen, Dominic Cruz, and who's the guy before that?
Was it Sugar? Sugar Sean?
Rob Font. Frankie Edgar.
Yeah.
Davey Grant. Jose Aldo and Sean O'Malley. I mean, let's cut from Frankie Edgar down. Let's cut that, right? Because he knocked out Frankie in MSG. I was there for that fight, actually. But Rob Font, Dominic Cruz, Corey Sanhagen, what do they all have? Great footwork and the ability not to get hit. Pedro does not possess those attributes. He will lean into a war sometimes. I think I like the overs in this fight. Vegas is all over it, but low key, I can see this fight getting finished.
Think so?
I can.
I don't know.
I wouldn't bet it.
It's tough.
But if Marlon knocked him out, would you be surprised?
No, I wouldn't be crazy surprised. I mean, again, like I said, these guys both never been knocked down, never been knocked out. Munhoz, for me, I think he's the chinnier of the two, only because, like, again,
he's older.
He's the older one, and when I seen him fighting Dom was kind of moving that boy a little bit, and Dom is not a prolific finisher at all either.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Not a big puncher.
He's not known to be this, one-shot KO Francis Ngannou type puncher. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm going to lean Cheeto here. Pure pick. I don't know how to bet this. It's a scary bet because Cheeto 90% of the time loses round one. This is a 3-round fight. If this was a 5-round fight,
Cheeto
I'd be
all day.
Way more confident in Cheeto here.
I can see Pedro just controlling him against the cage.
Cheeto,
low key.
That's what I'm like. My head is like, okay, I think Cheeto's the better fighter. But if you're gonna give up round one to Pedro's just gotta win one more round. Pedro could grapple him for a round, and now he's 2 rounds in, and now you're round 3 here, and you're banking on Cheeto for a finish
to stop a guy who's
never been knocked down or knocked out.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like it's risky business.
Yeah. Cheeto should win, but
more than likely he wins round 3, and more than likely he loses round 1.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you're on the Cheeto side, maybe the best thing to do is probably wait until round 2.
Yeah.
To get a better line on Cheeto.
Not a bad idea.
And then that way it's kind of like, you're you're hedging a little bit on the risk that you're taking if you're on the Cheeto side. But if you're on the Munhoz side, again, he's a dog. He's probably gonna win round 1. So he's just gotta. And Munhoz is not a dumb fighter. These guys are both not dumb. He's just gotta win 1 round. And if he grapples Vera here and gets him on the ground, controls him a little bit, that's 2 rounds right there. And then all he's got to do is just is just survive for 1 round. So Munhoz might be kind of he might be a live dog here. He might be. He might be a dog that you can, not confidently put your bet in, but like semi-confidently put your money on. I'm going to lean Vera here because I do think he's the better fighter, and I do think he does get it done. But from a pick standpoint, from like a betting standpoint, the over is probably more than likely a hit because I think this fight does go to decision.
Minus 360, bro. Yikes. You got to parlay that.
If you want a better number on Munhoz, maybe you bet Munhoz if you want to get greedy, Munhoz by decision. If you want a better number on Vera,
Vera by decision.
Either Vera by decision or just live bet him after round 1.
I agree.
My heart says Vera. My mind kind of says Vera. But Munhoz, who knows? He might get some money here. He might. I don't know. This one I'm gonna have to wait on a little bit too. I want to feel this one out, but pure pick. I don't want to waste any more time. I think Vera's the side, and Munhoz might be a live dog here. But I think this is a very close fight. I think the overs do hit.
Agreed.
All right, now we are at the featured bout, and we have Ian Machado Garry going 1-on-1, not with Jeff Neal,
hand to steel,
but with Neil Magny. Oh, the Haitian sensation, Neil Magny.
This main card lost a lot of steam losing Jeff Neal.
This is still a good fight though.
It is, but dude, Jeff Neal, we bet him.
Yeah,
just as a heads up, but we're gonna start letting you guys know that we got him at the open line at plus 140.
He was at plus 140 for this fight, and I was like, hey, that's me and my brother both looked at that line. I was like, we saw what happened when people kind of underrated him against Shavkat.
And I feel like they're still underrating him against Ian Garry, bro.
And they're still underrating, again,
a guy who leaves his chin up
Ian
against
Garry,
an elite level boxer in this division, bro. Come on, he's gonna get his shit clipped.
Ian Garry, who got rocked by Kanan Song in the first round.
Who?
Go ahead.
Who?
There you go.
My bad, I beat you to it.
You did. Yeah, I was gonna slam that button.
The glizzy's touched.
Hey, yo. But what I'm saying? A guy who hasn't really fought the biggest competition. I don't want to say they're they're holding his hand here a little bit. They are giving him some matchups here to test certain attributes of his skills, like his striking, his this and that and this. But hasn't fought Neil Magny's the biggest name here. Jeff Neal was the bigger name.
Good step up in competition though for Ian. This is the appropriate step if we're being honest.
100%. And this is a fight that Ian Garry wanted personally before they decided to give him
hands of steel.
Hands of steel. He wanted Neil Magny.
Hands of steel is crazy, bro.
So that being said, I do think Ian Garry is the side here.
He's minus 500, bro.
You can't bet him straight.
No.
Probably a solid parlay piece. I think he does beat Neil Magny here.
I agree.
Now, if you want to get a little sneaky, a little slimy, a little,
By knockout.
No. By sub.
You think he subs him?
I think he subs Neil Magny. Because he's wanted Neil Magny literally ever since he's made rank. Yeah. That was the first fight that is the guy he's called out. He's been calling out. I think Ian Garry here is a smart fighter. He's got Machado in his name for a reason. I think his grappling, he's been wanting to display it against the right guy. Neil Magny has this tendency of making people fight the way he wants to fight. I think most of that has to do because Neil Magny's just a super big dude with big reach. You can't really box Magny because he's just longer than everybody. So, he makes them fight this style where they just come in on him and he's always clinching and grappling. Machado, I think, is going to welcome that. I think Machado is going to want to test his game. And he's one of the, I believe in Ian Garry here.
I do.
I like him. And I do think sneakily, I think he's gonna get a sub here. I think he's gonna get his, first sub in the UFC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know he's got a sub on his record. He's got one sub win. I don't know if it was in the UFC or not. It could have been like in the Contender Series or something like that. But
Ian Garry by submissions plus 550.
Yes, I like it. I think Ian Garry is gonna win. I think he's the side. He's the pick. If you want to stick him in your parlay, that's the way to do it. I do think he finishes Neil Magny, in my opinion, and I do think he does it by sub. So I think, personally, I might be sprinkling a little bit of Ian Garry sub here. That's all I got.
Ian Garry to finish is minus 135. That's not bad either.
I mean,
yeah.
I could see it.
The thing is, I agree with you with that assessment too, because Neil likes to play off his back. I think plus 380 is a little much, but I could see why, because I think the hype on Garry is real. This guy has similar dimensions to Neil, and Neil, despite having 30 fights in the UFC and winning 21 of them, I just think that if he doesn't, for all of his opponents that he's beaten, if there's not a glaring hole in their game, he doesn't know what to do. He defeats guys that have glaring holes in their game. Ian, I'm not sure has any of it. Knows how to stuff takedowns, has very good distance management control. Even the guy he got dropped by, that little nobody.
Who?
He figured him out, made adjustments, and was baiting him to throw the left so he could counter with the right. And just that little chess move was able to defeat him handily and stop him. But that's why I thought the Jeff Neal fight was it, because he was not going to get away with that one trick pony, that one adjustment in the fight to beat Neil. With Neil, you need multiple transitions, multiple different looks. You need to keep Jeff Neal guessing. You need to give him different looks. Neil is what he is. And I agree with you. I think this fight goes inside the distance.
I mean, okay, the only thing that I do worry about Ian, and again, it's a thing that's been prevalent throughout all his fights. You can't hit him, especially early.
Correct.
He does leave his chin out there.
Yep.
Now, is Magny the type to take advantage of that kind of?
Not really.
Not really.
Jeff Neal would have been, though.
Jeff Neal would have been. I like the fact that people kind of disrespecting Jeff Neal kind of gets on my nerves just a little bit. But
dog, he wobbled Shotcut.
Yeah.
He wobbled him multiple times in that fight. And I it was crazy because there was a lot of people on Shotcut's nuts. He's gonna dog walk him.
I think rightfully so.
He's a beast.
Not the dog walking part, but he's a beast. Man.
Right, but the dog walking part. Yeah. And I was I was telling you too, when that fight got announced, I was like, dude, he is not dog walking Jeff Neal.
Not at all.
He is not dog walking him. Jeff Neal is legit.
And you've seen the fight.
Yeah.
Excellent fight.
Phenomenal fight.
I love that fight.
And Shafkat had to catch him with a choke that was very unorthodox. It was from the side. He's standing next to him like he was parallel parking and shit. And he just literally big brothered him with the choke. It was a weird, It
was one of those, man, I want to finish. You're gonna lose. You're gonna tap to this no matter what. I don't care. It's the weird. It was just like a.
It was like a bulldog choke, like a modified bulldog choke. It was weird.
It was like I want this more fight. I want this more kind of submission, essentially, right? Because it was an awkward submission.
Yeah.
But man,
when that round started, fight. Jeff hurt him.
Yeah.
Jeff hurt him two or three times, bro. So it's Ian Garry by finish. I'm probably going to make that bet. I'm minus 135, and I'm definitely sprinkling on the sub.
I think he gets the sub.
Yeah, plus 550, too much value there. You got to play it.
All right, now we are here. Co-main event.
Great fight.
For the strawweight championship. We have Zhang Weili, Magnum, going against Amandina? I think it's the same name. Amanda Lemos. Zhang Weili. I'm sorry for that long pregnant pause there. I just had the crazy brain fart.
Pregnant?
Yeah, they call it a pregnant pause. I'm not pregnant.
Keep going.
What are you saying to me right now?
Glizzies. Glizzies and pregnancy. That's all it is.
My brother got problems right now. I don't know what's wrong with this man. He's got glizzies on his mind, man. Zhang Weili, 23-3. The champion. Fighting out of China, 34 years old, going against Amanda Lemos, 13-2-1. The challenger, fighting out of Brazil, hailing from Brazil, 36 years old. I like this fight a lot. I don't know if this fight goes the distance. I'm leaning the unders.
Yes.
I think there's a finish in this fight. pure pick, Weili. But I think Lemos probably the hardest hitter in this division.
Yeah.
She's got hands. She's got underrated, like, guillotine sub game. A little underrated. I don't think people talk about it enough. She's live, especially like for the first round and a half, 2 rounds, maybe even 2.5 rounds. I think she's live. The longer this fight goes, the more I like Weili. I do think Weili gets it done. Maybe fight ends in sub is not a bad look because I can see Weili getting a sub. I can see Weili trying to grapple and then Lemos catching her in a guillotine or some kind of ninja choke or something like that. So fight ends in sub is probably not a bad look depending on the number. Like I said, I don't think this fight goes the distance. I'm going to say Weili is the lean, but for a bet, I don't know. Sub either way, I think. Even though I just finished saying Lemos has hands. Lemos could rock her. But, Weili, she's good, man. Durable fighter, excellent fighter. She's only lost to Rose. And she's lost to Rose twice, right?
Yeah.
Only lost to Rose in this division.
Sub is plus 275.
To end in sub?
That's value there.
That might be the play for me.
The knockout's minus 150. Not bad either.
Yeah, maybe.
But I like the sub thing. And to jump in here, I agree. I think people are sleeping on Lemos a little bit. The only issue with Lemos, she's a little older and she does tend to gas in fights. But man, for the first round and a half, 2 rounds of this fight,
I think for the first 2 rounds,
she's dangerous.
Yes.
And if Zhang is not on her P's and Q's, if they stand in front of each other and they start throwing shots, it's a 50-50 fight.
This is going to be another fight where I'm kind of interested in like you shouldn't weigh like the pre-fight talking and like what do you call that? The build up to the fight, like the build up stuff,
the pre-fight talk,
when
the press conference.
When they're doing all that stuff. I'm curious to see where Zhang is at because she's not with what's Cejudo's camp?
Yeah,
Fight Ready.
Yeah,
she's not with them no more.
Yeah.
So
and she was in that camp for the Rose Namajunas and the Joanna Jędrzejczyk fights, and those were very wrestling heavy game plans.
So it's gonna be pretty interesting to see if she does bring in wrestling heavy game plan here. Again, if this is a striking fight, I think this is a 50-50 fight. I think Lemos might have the faster hands.
Yeah.
Does she have the reach?
She does. 2 inches.
2 inches. They're both the same
height. And she knows how to use it too. And by the way, if Zhang wants to wrestle, if Zhang is not on her P's and Q's on the entry, she's gonna get guillotined.
Yeah.
By a girl who I think is gonna be naturally bigger than her.
Yeah. I'm gonna say
Zhang's the lean.
Yeah, Zhang is the lean, and it's, especially if the fight goes deep.
Yeah. After round three, or
even in the middle of round 3. I think past round 2.
After round 2, it's over. If Amanda doesn't get her early.
And I'm assuming Lemos, she knows it's a 5-round fight. She's probably going to try to pace herself a little bit. Because I don't think Lemos, I think she's a smart fighter. She got caught by
Jessica Andrade.
But I think
that was a weird thing to get caught in. She just was not expecting the standing arm triangle
from Andrade out of all people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like she's going to become a little more prepared here. She could win. I think she might be a live dog. What's the numbers on this?
She's plus 250.
That might be decent enough for a bit of a sprinkle.
Nah, how about this?
There could be an upset here.
Nah. Let's not. Don't even play her money line. Right, play her to finish. So what's her to finish?
That's true.
Her to finish is plus 330.
Yeah, I think if you're gonna play Lemos,
you gotta play to finish.
I think you play to finish. And if you want to get real spicy, you play the sub. But she could
knock her out.
She could clap her up. But
Lemos by sub is plus 1,000.
What's
her knockout's plus 450.
What's Weili inside?
Weili inside the distance is minus 150. Whoa, there is value there, sir.
Yeah, not bad.
I think she's gonna finish her.
I wish that was minus a little less than 150.
Nah, 150 is a good lot, dude. I thought it was gonna be minus 200. Because think about it, this fight's gonna go one or two ways. Either Zhang's gonna stop her late, or early, or Lemos is going to stop her early. That's the only way this fight's not going to decision. I don't see it happening. I mean, and maybe in some crazy world it does, where they're patient, a lot of respect. It could be a boring fight too. I just don't see it because Zhang Weili, like, she's got into gunfights with people that have knocked her out. You know, Jessica Andrade came at her and she stopped Andrade. She went into the fight with Rose Namajunas twice. You know, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, she had fight of the year.
Yeah.
You know, like, that was a crazy fight. And then she dog walked to the second fight. So, God, I think Zhang is the lean for sure.
I think Weili, if you want another way to play her, you could probably just sprinkle a little bit on 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Listen, she could finish her rounds 1 and 2. I don't know, but
you want to play value here.
Yeah. I think 3, 4, and 5 are nice little sprinkles for Weili if you're on the Weili side. If you want to bet it that way. I do think this fight doesn't go to distance. I do think the unders hit. If you can get a nice undervalue, you know, under 4.5 or something like that, fight doesn't start round 5. If you want to get real frisky, fight doesn't start round 4. On the Lemo side, maybe you, I don't know, maybe rounds 1 and 2 if you want to sprinkle that. I think fight ends in sub. I still think that's a good look because I think this sub is live for both sides. Sneakily live for both sides.
Look at this. Zhang Weili to win in rounds 3 and 4 is plus 550.
That's not bad.
There's value there, man.
That's not bad.
There's value there. There's a lot of places we can play this.
I think this is a good fight. I think
to bet on too.
More often than not, though, I think Weili kind of handles this. Low key, I kind of want Weili to win because I kind of want to see Weili fight Yao Jianan.
Yeah,
because I think
China.
I thought that was the fight to make
in China, bro.
Oh my god,
that's a banger too. Because I think Yan is slept on.
That sells out whatever venue they're in China. That's like
both Chinese fighters.
That's a mega fight. And they're both really good fighters.
And they're both great. Yep.
So selfishly, I kind of want Weili to win here just so they could set that fight up. But again, I think Lemos is more than deserving of this shot. I think Lemos is more than live.
Yeah.
She is live, especially early. I'm leaning Weili here to win. Don't know how I'm going to bet this fight at all. And I just gave you guys a bunch of options depending on how you feel. Me personally, like I said, I think Weili's the side. Don't know how I'm going to bet it. I might end up taking a shot on Lemos. It depends on weigh-ins and stuff like that too. Lemos does historically have a hard time making this weight class.
Want to see her on the scale too.
So I would love to see her on the scale, how she looks. If she's, she looks so sucked out. If she,
she's big,
had
man.
a terrible cut. She's big. She's big for this weight class. Girl, man. So this is another one where I'm gonna wait until last minute to see where the where the fighters look, and yeah, that's all I got for this one.
Yeah, me too. That's about all.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're here. Before we continue, like, comment, subscribe on everything. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. If you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, follow. Everybody listen on Spotify or Apple, Google, hit, subscribe to that too. Right before we break this fight down, just want to throw that out there, you know what I'm saying? But here we go. Main event. Aljamain Sterling. Sean O'Malley. I don't know why I said that. He's not, he's Irish, but he's American. Sean O'Malley. Bantamweight Championship. I'm gonna flip this one. I'm gonna let you kick this one off. Do you feel comfortable kicking this one off?
I don't mind. This fight is probably one of the easiest fights to break down the card.
Is it?
It is. And
educate me, brother.
This fight, by the way, I don't think this fight goes the distance. I think the under's alive here.
I agree with you there.
I'll go that far.
I think this doesn't go the distance.
Right.
Yeah.
Aljo gets it to the floor. He smashes Sean. Sean keeps on the feet. He's gonna fuck him up. It's that simple. Sean is bigger than him in some ways. Aljo's bigger than him in some dimensions. So it's just how you want to play it. My lean is gonna be Aljo. He's probably gonna sub him. And the reason I say that is because I think I'm tired of betting against Aljamain Sterling at this point. I faded him against Cejudo. I faded him against Dillashaw, even though Dillashaw owes me fucking money for that fight.
Listen,
fuck him.
Side note, Dillashaw owes a lot of people. My man walked in there compromised. I don't know how he even got cleared to fight. He told the referee, he told people backstage, hey, listen, my shoulder's going to pop out. Give me some time to readjust. How you going to say that?
Yeah.
How you going to go into a fight compromised like that? And then, first of all, get cleared to go in there. And then, two, I don't know. That pissed me off. Oh, man. Because, like, again, if EPO,
CEO of EPO,
the CEO of EPO shows up, I think that fight was going to be a banger.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because Dillashaw, Dillashaw was sick.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to see what non-EPO Dillashaw looked like.
Compromised.
My man came in way, like, he couldn't even heal correctly off the EPO. But that fight pissed me off.
Then before that was Peter Yan, right? And all of those fights, crazy enough, and it sucks to say this, they all have asterisks next to them. So Cejudo came off like a 4-year layoff. TJ came in compromised. And Peter Yan arguably won the fight.
Yeah.
Arguably won the first fight. And then arguably won the second fight. There's an argument for Peter Yan for the second fight too. I gave it to Aljo.
I gave Aljo the second fight.
But the fight was razor close.
Yes.
It was. Then he was getting his ass whipped the first fight before. I'm going to be honest with you. He put on an acting performance, but I don't blame these guys when they do that shit.
Oscar-worthy, baby.
Oscar-worthy. I don't blame people when they do that, bro, because when you get the title, there's money implications and pay-per-view points. So all he did was just negotiate and win for his bag, right? Now, the fact that he's already talking about moving up to 145 means he's having trouble making the weight.
Yeah.
However,
dude, man, he's such a big dude.
However, he's a professional. He's going to make the weight cleanly.
Yeah, he is.
Which means he's very big for the weight class too, if he's having issues making the weight. Sean, I don't want to say Sean's live. He is live because of his footwork, his ability to stay on the outside. The thing is with Sean, though, he does his best work when he's using his kicks. I don't know if he's going to be able to refrain from using his kicks the whole fight. He could work behind his boxing, but
I don't think Aljo's a bad striker.
No,
you know?
I don't.
He's not the cleanest striker. He does throw some clean, like 1-2s down the pipe.
He's awkward, though.
But, like...
And his volume.
You know, yeah, you're right. It's like, does Sean... Because I think Sean at his best is using all 4 of his limbs. You know, he's using his elbows, using his knees. His kicks are, you know... Sean O'Malley's kicks is what, you're like, you know...
Yeah.
He's wicked with them kicks.
Yeah. His hands are good too. Don't get me wrong.
He's got good hands too, but it's just that combination of like his striking overall.
He's so dynamic.
He's one of the best strikers in the division.
Yeah.
100%.
But can he stay on his back foot for 5 rounds against this guy? I just don't see it. I don't see it. Unless he can clip him early. And Aljo's going to be aware of that. And I'm tired of just doubting this Ray Longo camp, like how they prep for this guy and these competitors. And I think Aljo's just being super disrespected. I think he's been super disrespected for most of his career. I also think that he is already in the argument for one of the greatest bantamweights of all time, arguably the greatest if you look at who he's beaten. And by the way, he beat the next guy up in Corey Sandhagen. He steamrolled him in 1 minute. And if you want the real, that's the biggest evidence that I need for this fight, because Corey always kind of fought on the outside like that. Aljo kind of walked him down, took him down, and just got him out of there. And I can see that happening in this fight too. It can be a round 1 sub. Yeah. No bullshit. I wouldn't bet it that way because I do think Sugar is smart. I think he's very honest with his capabilities and where he's strong at, which is why I think has helped him grow so exponentially fast as a mixed martial artist. However, I think this is a little too much too soon for him. I think that he has handpicked his fights. He handpicked Peter Yan because Peter Yan wasn't going to utilize his wrestling. But the fact that Peter Yan shot on him should say a lot about how good this guy is on his feet. With that said, Aljo, probably by submission.
You know what, brother? I don't necessarily disagree with anything you just said. I mean, what did you leave out? Not too much. Aljo, again, underrated striker. I think his striking gets overlooked because people are so worried about his grappling. You know, best back taker
in the division.
By far. If he's got your back,
that round's done.
GG. You're not winning that round.
No.
You're not.
Survive.
Or Sanhagen. Just take the Sanhagen round and just lose.
Tap out.
Just tap out. O'Malley, this is the best wrestler he's fought by far.
Tap or not, baby.
We don't know what O'Malley's like. We don't know how he's been preparing. He's been wanting this fight for a while. He's been training with some solid jiu-jitsu dudes. Maybe O'Malley's best route is two ways I can see O'Malley winning this fight. Early KO, or he survives the onslaught, and especially if he makes Aljo work, right? Aljo cuts a lot of weight for this division. When it gets to round 3, when it gets to round 4 in particular, or gets to round 5 in particular, Aljo slows. He slows down a little bit. O'Malley could take advantage of that. O'Malley could beat him late.
Yeah.
I 100% believe that. He's just got to get there, though.
Which I don't know.
That's the scary part. Yeah. I think if he can survive the onslaught, if he gets his bag taken, but doesn't get subbed,
But he has to simultaneously be making Aljo work. If he's not making Aljo work, it's gonna be a long fucking night. He needs to
make Aljo work.
It's gonna be a long night for him.
If he's not pushing the pace on pushing the pace on Aljo.
Where's the gabagoo?
Where's the gabagoo? If he's not pushing the pace on Aljo, it's gonna be a long night for him. If he pushes the pace, which I do think he will, because again, as much as we're saying that Aljo, as much as we're saying as O'Malley hasn't fought a grappler like Sterling, Sterling hasn't fought a striker like O'Malley.
Jan,
I think he's a little more dynamic.
I agree
in his striking.
No, I agree.
And again, Sean's going to be the bigger guy.
Yeah,
I think their reach is about the same. I mean, he might even Aljo might even have the reach advantage, but O'Malley's long and he knows how to
fight big.
He knows how to fight big. He's very good at distance management. If he could make Aljo work here, extend this fight, get to round 3, get to round 4 in particular, get to round 5 in particular, I think O'Malley is live.
Might be a good live bet spot.
Because Aljo can't get sloppy. Has been sloppy, especially when he's worked in the later rounds like that. That being said, I do agree with you. I do think Sterling is the side. Just like you, I've disrespected this man. I bet against him. He's made me pay for it. I should know better. He's from New York. I gotta be rooting for these dudes. Hopefully I don't jinx this, but I'm picking O'Malley. I mean, I'm picking Sterling here. I think Sterling gets it done. I think Sterling does get the sub. I like Sterling sub.
Sterling's knockout right now is plus 550, by the way. I could see him pounding him out too. There's a lot like
it depends. I mean, you're not wrong because we haven't seen what O'Malley looks like in the grappling exchange.
He does scramble. He knows how to get back up.
Yeah, he's hard to hold down.
He is.
I'll give him that. He doesn't want to be on the ground. He's even said it. And because another thing I like about O'Malley, he's blunt and he's real about everything that he says and he does. He's admitted, I don't want to get on the ground with this guy. I don't want this guy to touch me. He's going to do everything in his path to stay away from the grappling. And if he does get grappled, everything in his power to get up.
FYI, by the way, Aljo hasn't subbed anyone in his since Corey Sandhagen. His last couple of fights, Cejudo, I didn't actually watch that fight, so I'm going to lean on you there. But Peter Yan took his back. Controlled him and just threw punches. TJ stopped him from back mount and punches. All I'm saying, and I don't think Sugar is completely a novice on the floor. So I don't see him getting subbed, but I could see him getting his back mounted by the stronger guy and just getting fucked up on the floor.
But I also do think that Sterling especially win or lose, this is probably his last fight in the division. He probably is going to move up. He is going to want an emphatic win. Like, I think he wants a statement win. What better way than just to sub O'Malley, kill the hype,
or just stop him with punches?
I think the sub is going to be there. You know, again, we don't know. The big question mark again is Sean O'Malley. What he looks like on the ground. How good is his jiu-jitsu? Can he survive? Can he hang? We don't know. I'm gonna lean Sterling here. Sterling by sub, I think, is more than live. But inside the distance or KO is also live. You're right. I don't think this makes it all away. And not that Sean O'Malley doesn't have a chance in hell. I do think he has a chance, especially early and especially late. And people betting Sean, I don't blame them. You know, Sean's not a bad fighter. He's a very high IQ fighter. It's going to be a great fight. But I'm tired of losing to Aljamain Sterling. I pick against this man, and he lets me know every time, stop picking against me. You're disrespecting me, brother. Stop doing that. We're from New York. What are you doing? So I'm going to ride with him, and hopefully I don't jinx it. I like Aljo. I'm probably going to bet the sub. I don't know yet, but that's probably the way I'm going to lean. I would like to see the sub number if it's nice and juiced. Nice and juicy, not juiced. But, yeah. That being said, O'Malley's more than live. He can win. But I like Sterling. Sterling pure pick. And Sterling is probably the way I'm going to bet it. I think I like the unders.
Yeah.
I think, that's what I think for this main event. The main event's going to be great.
I agree. This whole card top to bottom is great, ladies and gentlemen. And I think we could wrap it up from here, right?
I mean, that's it.
Yeah, I
Unless
agree.
You got anything else
I
to
agree.
say?
I agree with everything you said. And I'm kind of in line with it. So, yeah. But ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of episode 26 of the Access to Combat podcast. No boxing this weekend, just a great UFC 292 card. As you already know, and you guys know the routine, we start the podcast like this and we close the podcast like this. Follow, like, subscribe, comment, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and
Twitter.
Oh, and there's no, I got confused there because Twitter's no longer.
Yeah, it's X.
It's X.
Whatever. Everybody watching on YouTube right now, enjoying the visual part of this podcast. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to stay up to date.
And for all of our audio listeners, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, episode 26 in the books. Love you guys. Follow us on all these platforms. Keep up to date with our bets. Do your part. We're doing our part. We're going to make sure you're informed. Keep you up to speed. Make you a little cheddar cheese. Love you guys. Holla at ya. Later. Magnum.